everyone, it's Jennifer with Rooted in the Rock, and I've got something dropping from the education branch right now. Hey everyone, welcome to Rooted in the Rock. I'm so glad you're here. Now, before you get too distracted by Admiral Akbar here, let me explain. Today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you, by the way. Except this video is going to be on May 5th. No, I love planning. And I want to plan everything out and film a bunch of stuff and have it all ready to go and already uploaded. But, sometimes the Holy Spirit doesn't work that way. And sometimes you just kind of go, I don't want to say by the seat of your pants, but sometimes you just end up rolling with one thing at a time as he gives it to you. And that's, I would feel better with it all. Like I have a notebook and a calendar and like a plan for I'm going to do this video this day, this day, this day. But, sometimes God will have you do something else, or, he wants to make sure that you are relying on him and not doing your own thing. So there are times when we can't plan ahead and we just have to roll with it. So apparently that's what I'm doing with my channel. Yay! Anyway, today's May the 4th. And for us who are somewhat geeks or nerds or whatnot, we love Star Wars, okay? We love Star Wars, grew up with it. It's one of our things. And May 4th is Star Wars Day. And so this is what I wore today. I have my Admiral Akbar shirt. You can't, let me get up where you can see it. Okay. Do you get it? Do you get it? So it's a trap. Get it? It's a Chinese finger trap. And anyway, I find it funny. It makes me smile. So when it's not too hot, because it's a black shirt. So when it's not too hot, I like breaking out the Admiral Akbar and it's a trap joke shirt. Anyway, that's why I'm wearing this weirdness today. Now, before I get started, for real, just remember at the end of the video, I always try to put like outtakes or fun clips or whatever at the end after the ending slide, whatever you want to call that whole thing with Nutsy the squirrel. So just remember to stick around for that. Hit the like button if this was helpful. Subscribe to see future content. All right, here we go. Now, what I want to talk about today is 2 great ways to engage your readers in your classroom or your homeschool group or whatever that may be. You could even do this at home homeschooling. It's a little trickier that way, but it can be done, okay? This can be done, both of these can be done in any school and in any setting, almost, okay? Even with a super small group, this can be done. So the first thing is, speaking of Star Wars Day, okay, well, I have my education hat on. Sorry, this is not Star Wars, but this is my education hat. I'm trying to remember to wear the right hat for the right thing, okay? So, speaking of Star Wars Day, today was May 4th. And so my old school has kind of gotten into this thing on May 4th. They do Star Wars Day and people dress up and it really fits this year because they've been studying astronomy for science. So space and stars and all that kind of thing. So Star Wars is perfect fun thing. Okay. So I happen to have a legit Jedi costume. Like bought it at Disney at Galaxy's Edge. It's like the full deal. I've got the top, the belt, the pants. I bought these brown leather type boots that go up to my knees, and the cloak. It's not a cloak, robe, whatever, Jedi robe, whatever you want to call it. And it is hot, y'all. I so want to like make or find myself a replacement that's like the same thing but lighter fabric. That robe that you buy there, it's wool and it's heavy. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Anyway, I dressed like it before, so they knew I had it. And so my friends, I still keep up with my friends, the teachers that are still there, and they were like, oh, you should dress up as your Jedi and come and read to our class. So I went there today and read to all the classes from the littles up to middle school. I went and hang out with them. The middle school, my friend who teaches up there, she has the most amazing book. It's I took a picture of it. I gotta find it. I'll stick it up here or here somewhere. I will stick it up and show you the picture of it. But it's Wookiee poetry. It's Star Wars themed poetry, but it's so much fun. Well, that would be a third thing. Anyway, so the point is to engage your readers. One of the things is dress up in a costume. Kids love costumes. When I was growing up, Halloween was about getting to dress in costume and go around in your costume and getting candy. Those were the two things, okay? Kids love costumes. And so it could be you as the parent, it could be you as the teacher, or is someone else. But when you're studying a certain theme, doing things like dressing in costume to match the theme really makes things come alive. It just gives them a much brighter memory of what happened that day. They get so excited, and it's fun, and it's out of the ordinary, and it makes it a better memory. So dress in costume to go with the theme or the book or whatever it is you're reading. They have so much fun. Or even you could dress up in costume as you're reading it or talking about it in class, or have a day where everybody gets to come and dress up as a costume from that book or whatever it is you're reading. I know a lot of people do that for Seuss Week or Seuss Day, however they do it. Seuss's birthday, a lot of times they have a week and, dress up as your favorite Seuss character or something like that. That's always fun too. But who doesn't love Who hair, right? Anyway, but dressing up in a costume, it could be you, it could be them, it could be both or someone else, whatever. That makes it so much more fun. The second thing is have a guest reader. Okay, reading out loud to kids, even when they're older, is important. Okay, a lot of people think, oh, that's only like kindergarten or whatever. No. Picture books are good, even for the older kids. Okay, I'm telling you, it's good stuff. You can learn a whole lot of lessons about writing and reading and all kinds of things, really, from picture books. Don't even get me started on picture books. Anyway, but reading out loud. Okay, so have a guest reader. So today, not only was I in costume, but I was also a guest reader. I'm not there all the time anymore. So, and a lot of the younger kids, of course, all the new kids don't know who I am, but a lot of the younger kids didn't really, who are new, like the kindergartners in the pre-K class and all that, most of them didn't know me. Unless they are siblings of someone, I already knew a few of them, but most of them didn't know me. So having someone different, it's kind of like when you're kids and you can tell your kids something 10 times, someone else comes in and tells them and they like, oh, that's amazing. And you're like, I've already told you that 10 times before. Like as if you've never heard it from me at home before, Like, and teachers can get the same exact thing happens. You can talk to your kids about a certain thing until you're blue in the face, and sometimes they hear it from someone else, and then they're like, "Wah!" and you're like, let's just chalk that up to seed planting, okay? It was my seed. They just watered it. But anyway, you sometimes hearing someone else who they don't know or a special guest, a lot of like pre-K classes like to have parents take turns and come in and be the special reader for that week. And it's so exciting for the kids to, oh, that's my mommy, she's visiting. They get so excited. And they get excited to see other people's parents. And it's just hearing a different voice, different people. Some people don't read out loud very well. I mean, it's true. But just hearing hearing it from someone else and hearing another voice, a lot of times will help, again, make a special memory or help it come alive. Just something different to break up the day. So having a guest speaker can really, really engage them. A lot of times they can get more excited because it's someone else and they want to hear what they're going to say. Especially if they bring a book that's not already in the classroom, if you bring a special book with you that perhaps they've never seen. Now, speaking of books, so there's a third thing. I'm adding a third thing here. Okay, the third thing to engage your readers is special books. I kind of have a problem, okay? I have too many books. I have 4 full-size bookshelves upstairs in the office. It's all going to move down to the basement once it's finished, but I have 4 full-size bookshelves up there. They are all completely full, and I have stacks of books on the floor in front of the bookshelves. But I love books. I love books. If you want to talk about collecting something, I suppose that's something I collect, is books. I love having, my husband is more of he's a computer geek, so he's more of the digital type. Me, I love having the physical book. I love seeing the pages. On occasion, depending on the book, sometimes you like smelling it, right? Or especially the books where the pages are uneven and it makes it look old on purpose. Like, oh, I love pretty books. Anyway, there's something about holding a book, right? And special books, okay? I'm not just talking about pretty editions of books. You can buy, like Barnes & Noble always has those $10, well, they're not always $10. A lot of times they go on sale for $10, or at least they used to, those pretty hardbacks of the classics and things. But I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about books that are interesting, on the topic, but written differently. One example is, one thing I used to love to do with like Writers Readers Workshop, whatever, teaching reading and writing. One of the things I loved to do was show my kids, I have the book with no pictures. It's called The Book with No Pictures. And then I also have a book that has no words. That one is called Flotsam. It's really, really great. So the book with no pictures is so much fun, especially for youngers, okay? That one has, I have all of these. I should be like holding them up and showing them to you. I guess I'll have to like snap a picture and slap it up on the screen. But the book with no pictures has, I'll have to show you the inside, but it's all words, no pictures, which is totally normal for those of us who are older and read chapter books, right? But for littles, it's a picture book with no pictures, right? But the words, a lot of the words kind of reminds me of the Geronimo Stilton books, but some of the words are a different color, a different size, they look, but with the person who reads it, it's just so funny. The kids love it. They think it's hilarious, but it's like, oh, I have to read this no matter what it says and blah, blah, blah. There's a whole joke to it, but it's really funny and the kids love it. But then I love, on the opposite end, I love showing them the book Flotsam. And it's a book with no words, not a single word. Well, there are words on the one of the picture things because it's a camera box. But other than that, there's no like actual words to the book. It's all pictures and it tells a wonderful story. A wonderful story. This boy is at the beach. He finds a camera and he goes and gets it developed and looks through the pictures and sees all these wonderful pictures that have been taken down in the ocean. And then in the end, he finds pictures of previous people who have had the camera. They've all taken a picture of themselves with the camera. And then if you magnify, you can go back like so many years. And it's really cool. And it tells such a neat story without saying a single word. So books like that are so great for like writing lessons and reading lessons. And then, but also like I was talking about today, one of my friends, they had the Wookiee poetry book. And so those poems were so cute. Oh my goodness. We were reading them to the middle schoolers and they enjoyed it. They were drawing a thing and listening at the same time. And they enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The ones who know Star Wars, of course, enjoyed it more so. But they were fun poems. Shel Silverstein is one of the ones I've always loved. And there's a recording of, you can get CDs. Well, you can get it. It's on like Apple Music and Spotify too now. His recordings. I remember back in the day, back in my day, when I was in elementary school, my teacher, I want to say it was my 3rd grade teacher. I want to say third grade, but it could have been fourth grade. But anyway, they had the record, okay, vinyl of Shel Silverstein doing he does his poem, a lot of his poems to song. And so it was him playing the guitar and singing his poems. So much fun. And another thing today, it was a little golden book, and it was ships and basically transport vehicles and things of Star Wars. They had so much fun reading it. So I read it as a Jedi, telling them about, AT-ATs and X-Wings and Death Stars, Star Destroyers and all the things. But they had so much fun. It was great. And we were reading, and it's literature. And it doesn't always have to be something, silly. Okay, you can have themed books and fun little book experiences that are, serious, but it's just the fact that they're to a theme, or they're different. Okay, special books. There's been times, so bringing special books, it could be something that's themed. It could be some fun poetry. It could be like I brought one year, actually I've done this several times, but I still have certain books from when I grew up, like my favorite books that are, the ones that you read like 50 times when you were little. And because my family didn't have money to go to the bookstore, so book order was amazing when I was a kid. It was the coolest thing ever. On occasion, I got to order a book or two, and oh my gosh, so I have some books that I read 50 times. And, you can tell on the edges it's been well loved. And I love bringing those to school and be like, look, when I was your age, this was my favorite book. And I've read, look, and you can show them where you were a kid and you wrote your name in the book. And they think that is the neatest thing. You wrote that? Yeah, that's what my writing used to look like. But just special books. And if you show them your love for the books, maybe that'll pass a little bit on to them or give them some ideas. Everything is so digital now, and reading on paper, just reading a physical book is just so good for them. It's healthy. It's like eating vegetables, right? We need to eat. We need vegetables and healthy foods, just like we need to read, okay, and develop a love for reading, and also writing with your hands. Not just typing. People need to write with their hands. It's becoming a lost art form. Like cursive, what is that? People just don't even know anymore. Anyway, we're going off on 5 different bunny trails. But the point is, these are things to help engage your readers and get them maybe excited about reading, or at least enjoy reading more. Okay, so you've got costume opportunities, having guest speakers, and using fun books, fun editions of books or special books or anything like that, something new and fresh to bring in. Okay? So if you have, I know there are tons of other things that can be done. Those are just the 3 big ones that I have right now. But try it out. And you don't have to do, every day at school doesn't have to be this big production, okay? Every single day, you don't need to be bending over backwards, wearing yourself out to engage them and do all these things. Eventually you will burn out, and you're not going to want to do it anymore. Plan these kinds of things, save special occasions. It's kind of like, the concept of, if Christmas were every day, it wouldn't be that special, because it would just be the norm for all the time, right? So there are certain things, keep them special, like costumes, don't overuse them. Or the guest speakers and things like that. Don't have that as an everyday thing. Or, some preschools, do it every week. It depends on the program and what's going on. But I would say things like that, keep it so it's not so often, so it stays more special. Okay? Don't think that you have to do that too much. Make sure you do some of it at least every school year. Okay? Find these opportunities. But also, at the same time, keep it, I don't want to say rare, but rare enough that it is a fun, super special thing. Okay? along lately. I can just la 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 la. But it would totally not go with my outfit. I don't want to do it that way. Chapstick. Oh my goodness. I have found the coolest version of Cantina Bear. What was I going to say? What I want to... I should be wearing it.